Good evening, I'm Ryan Graham. Thank you for joining us. A call from a concerned citizen to the OPP has resulted in the arrest of a drug-impaired motorist. Officers received the call for service from the citizen who had stopped to check on a distressed motorist located along Highway 1117, east of the Terry Fox Memorial at roughly 11 p.m. on Friday. Officers allegedly located cannabis, open alcohol, and what was suspected to be cocaine after a thorough search of the vehicle, resulting in the arrest of a 27-year-old resident of Red Lake who has now been charged with possession of the Schedule I substance of cocaine and operating a vehicle while impaired by alcohol and drugs. The individual has been released from custody and is scheduled to appear before the Ontario Court of Justice in Thunder Bay in early January. The OPP have charged a local driver with speeding and careless driving after reportedly falling asleep behind the wheel. The police stopped the driver's vehicle, which had heavy damage and was dragging debris on Highway 1117 within the municipality for Shunya for speeding 120 kilometers per hour in a 90 kilometer per hour zone around 11 a.m. this past Friday. The OPP said the driver had reportedly fallen asleep moments earlier, leaving the road, striking a sign, and continuing to drive with it lodged underneath, which caused sparks and significant damage. OPP have also said that fortunately no one was injured. However, this incident could have ended tragically. They are advising the public to stay alert and drive rested, as fatigue and speed can be a deadly combination. Well, the issue of intimate partner violence was raised at Queen's Park this past week. The MPP for Kawetanong, Sol Mamakwa, gave recognition to the work that the Moose Hide campaign does in an effort to end gender-based violence.
The Moose Hide campaign is a First Nation-led grassroots movement to stand up against violence towards women and children. They focus especially on engaging men and boys to consider their role on addressing violence against women and children. Now, the small squares of moose hide are worn across Canada as a symbol of commitment to protect women and girls from violence.
An Indigenous wellness camp near Kenora has received a huge donation from a wealthy benefactor in the Greater Toronto area. Alex Krawczyk recently announced a $10 million gift from her family's foundation to expand the MWG Youth and Family Wellness Camp. Krawczyk is a registered nurse and folk musician who is also the daughter of Honey and Barry Sherman, the billionaire couple from Toronto who were murdered in 2017. A large portion of the donation will go towards building a new equestrian arena, which will be named the Krawczyk Family Equine Therapy Center. The donation will also fund the Honey Bear Healing Garden and outdoor classroom, named after Krawczyk's parents. The executive director of the wellness camp, Stephanie Bryant, spoke about how this collaboration came to be.
Alex's family foundation, the Krawczyk Family Foundation, had reached out. They had heard and built a relationship with the Mamawe Wissahickon Foundation, which is a foundation that supports the camp. So building that relationship, she began to learn about the camp, and we were really honored to have her come visit us this past summer as well. So this donation, this gift is really going to allow us to grow our impact. Currently, we're serving about 15,000 individuals, and we did that all without any sustainable funding. It's through the advocacy of our chiefs that we've been able to make it this far, but this gift will allow us to continue to grow to serve all. It's going to serve operational funding for over 3 years, but also support some of our new projects as well.
The MWG Youth and Family Wellness Camp on Strecker Road is operated by the Kenora Chiefs Advisory and its member First Nations. Remembrance Day is this Tuesday, and a century-old story about two great war veterans has recently been uncovered. Decades before Terry Fox's Marathon of Hope, a pair of First World War amputees decided to walk on crutches from Calgary to Ottawa to challenge the perceptions of disability. One of them had to end his journey in Kenora, while the other made it here to the lakehead. Jaden Billick has a story.
Back in 1923, First World War amputees George Hinks and Marshall McDougall accepted a challenge in a Calgary hospital to set out on crutches and walk to Parliament Hill, determined to prove that injured veterans had the same strength and ability as any able-bodied person. Western University historian Eric Story has been researching their long-forgotten journey and shining a light on it.
The whole idea of Hinks and McDougall's journey was to end up in Ottawa and to basically lay the case of the struggles of disabled veterans, and specifically veterans suffering amputations, before the Prime Minister at the time. Ultimately, they weren't able to make it. Just like Terry Fox, they had to cut their journey short due to pain, suffering that they just couldn't endure any longer.
As they made their way across the prairies, the pair endured blistered hands, searing pain, and scorching summer heat while traveling an average of 30 kilometers a day. Despite the grueling conditions, they were driven by their mission to shift public attitudes, proving their endurance by pressing on for thousands of kilometers.
It's such a tremendous, wonderful story of endurance. Like, literally on crutches in 1923. I don't actually have an idea of what the roads would have looked like in that time. But on wooden crutches going for over 2,000 kilometers, like that's just an incredible testament of endurance of these men.
Ultimately, the pair took ill in Kenora, where McDougall was forced to turn back to Winnipeg. However, Hinks pushed on alone, carrying the torch of their mission for another 500 kilometers until he reached Fort William, where his journey ended. Decades later, and by complete coincidence, Terry Fox would also be forced to abandon his marathon of hope in the very same city.
57 years in between each other, Terry Fox and George Hinks ended up in the same destination, even though they were going in opposite directions. At least I can't find a good reason why this story hasn't endured like Terry Fox has had. It just seemed to have gotten lost in, the life of the 1920s, and it was more chance than anything that I stumbled upon their story.
Though their journey faded quietly into history, their resilience helped open doors for other Great War amputees in the 1920s and helped change how Canadians view disabilities. And the Great War Amputees Association that Hinks and McDougall walked on behalf of is now known as the War Amps. Jaden Billick, TBT News.
A truly incredible story. Well, the Thunder Bay Airport is introducing a new program which will assist passengers with hidden disabilities. The global initiative will help designate travelers who need additional care while at the airport. The Hidden Disability Sunflower program will provide passengers at the airport with a lanyard that will alert airport staff that additional care may be needed. There are 2 locations in the airport where passengers can pick up a lanyard, either at the accessible check-in desk on the main floor or on the 3rd floor at the Airport Administration Office. Airport Director Jackie McDonald says the Sunflower program helps keep Thunder Bay in lockstep with the world's best airports.
We are always looking to enhance the passenger experience, and I think this just enhances it even further by providing those that may be a little bit of an anxious traveler that reassurance that they have time, they can they can relax, they can get it assisted without having that barrier where there could be a barrier before with no lanyard.
The program is now in effect, and passengers are encouraged to use the lanyards if needed. Thunder Bay's first ever traffic garden is giving kids a safe place to learn road rules and bicycle safety. The miniature road is designed to help young cyclists build confidence while encouraging more active transportation in the community. Eco Superior, with support from the City of Thunder Bay and many sponsors, has launched the city's first traffic garden on the tennis court beside Hammersholt High School. The mini road network at West End Park is designed for kids and adults alike to learn cycling and pedestrian safety. Co-executive director for Eco Superior, Ashley Preem, says the space gives young riders a fun, vehicle-free environment to learn road rules, build confidence, and spark a lifelong interest in active transportation.
So it's existed for quite a while. There's more than 1,000 in North America, around 320 in Canada, but this is Thunder Bay's first. I think it's just a great way to encourage children to be more active, and we know that if they start cycling at a young age, they're more likely to be active cyclists when they're older, and we're always looking at ways to get cars off the road and improve more cycling and active transportation. I just hope that people come, they learn what they need to learn, they feel more confident, that parents also feel more confident, and then they'll be more likely to let their children bike to the park, walk to the park, or bike to school as well.
No matter where they go, no matter what trails they're on, eventually they're going to end up on the streets, interacting with motor vehicles. And so they need to know what motor vehicles are looking for from a cyclist, the right side of the road and signaling and visibility, and there's a whole list of things that we go through with them. And even things like straight line riding, like just stay on the side of the road, and if you're leaving that, signal. And it's an amazing setup for the kids, and like in an hour, it's amazing what they can learn